Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to some more Arsenal transfer news, transfer updates, discussions, opinions, all that good stuff. It's quite interesting stuff today to talk about, to be honest. Arteta's interview, obviously, we play against Manchester United today. Well, tomorrow, technically during the night, in pre-season friendly, which I'm not a big fan of, I'm not gonna lie, because United, as we all know, last year nearly broke one of our players' legs, so these friendlies that happen between Premier League sides actually are never that friendly at the end of the day, so it is what it is. There have been some news about Calafiori, Nketiah situation and all that stuff. We're definitely gonna talk about all those things, but first things first, I hope you are having a great Saturday. Everyone's having a nice, relaxing day, everyone's chilling, having good vibes and all that stuff, basically managing to relax from a long work week again. And yeah, of course, if you're new around here, don't forget to smash that thumbs up. Definitely helps the algorithm and everything. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here and enjoy the content. Don't forget to interact in the chat and everything. But yeah, Arsenal, lots of stuff to talk about. I think we're not gonna drag this too long. We're gonna dig straight in, and we're gonna actually kick things off today with Mikel Arteta. His interview he has given before the preseason game we have against Manchester United tomorrow morning, since we are in EU. If you are watching this in USA, obviously it's during the evening. But yeah, Mikel Arteta, before we face Manchester United on Saturday night in Los Angeles, in the Kroenke Stadium, mind you, and everything, Mikel Arteta held his pre-match press conference for journalists in the City of Angels. The boss came straight from community event that saw him link up with LA Rams counterpart Sean McVay. Obviously, yeah, there was a picture where you saw Sean McVay, you saw Josh Kroenke, Stan Kroenke, Odegaard, and everything in one big picture. That was a kind of interesting picture. Not sure how I feel about it, but it is what it is. You kind of have to get the PR out and all that stuff, because these days it feels like that's what Arsenal is about, pretty much, more or less only PR in many things. But let's start this off on what inspires him to push for the title this season. First of all, analyze what we did, and we have a clear perspective of how we achieved what we achieved last year and why we didn't achieve what we wanted, which was ultimately to win major trophies, and especially how close we came to becoming Premier League champions. It's realizing the things that we need to do better and improve. And to be honest, we came 2 points short last season, and pretty much all it is on Mikel Arteta. Because the one game we lost in the last 16-17 games was against Aston Villa, and for some weird freaking reason he decided to take out Havertz from number 9 and smash him in number 8 spot, and that pretty much screwed everything. Going 1-7 in December also didn't help, and more importantly, not signing a striker in 5 windows since 6 windows actually, since Aubameyang has left, doesn't help anyone. We don't have a striker. Genuinely, we need a proper number 9, because the chances we created last season was the biggest part that we couldn't finish them. That's the reason why we finished, second. 2 points behind City, if you think about it. We didn't win against Fulham last season. We lost and we drew against 10-man Fulham at the Emirates. Imagine if we won one of those games, bang, that's done. We have the title. Even if we draw on points, we had better goal difference. We win the title. It's legitimately more or less incompetency, technically, on Mikel Arteta's part in the transfer market, because we haven't replaced Aubameyang's goals in 4 years. So definitely, if you think that realizing the things that we need to do better, it's actually signing the players you need in the market. Every person in the world knows Arsenal need a striker. What does Arsenal do? Sign a left back. We need 2 midfielders, in my opinion. We need a winger, and we need the number 9. We need 4 players. In what we do, we sign a left back. We might sign a midfielder, but I think that won't be enough. We actually need a forward. And the talks about Pedro Neto have quieted down massively. And we haven't been linked with a forward whatsoever. And that is one of those things that need to be done. But as I say about Arsenal, if it makes sense, they won't do it. Arsenal won't do it, and that's what it's all about. Genuinely, because to win the league last season we needed a proper number 9. And to be honest, you can get Tony, you can get Gyökeres if you want. Technically you can get someone else if you really want to push for it. But overall, the way we create chances and the way we actually score goals, we spread the goals around. That was the excuse in the first season we finished second. Last season it was in January, oh, but we don't have a striker to actually score goals properly. Then go sign one then. What is holding you up? Genuinely, what is holding you up from signing a proper number 9? That is one of the things that need to be done. And why are you not doing it? Because let's be real, Arsenal, the way we create chances, the amount of chances we actually don't need a world-class, how to say, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, you up to, and it's gone. We don't need actually like a world-class Lewandowski is in his prime and something like that. We actually need a guy who can hold the possession and has a good finishing. Well, not good, great finishing. So Tony fits that to a T. But allegedly, when Arsenal interviewed him, didn't like his attitude. That's the big thing. Arteta doesn't like players with big egos. But what this team needs actually is a player with big ego that has the arrogance, that has that dirty it factor, because we are too nice. Ben White has some shithousery about him. Kai Havertz has some shithousery about him. But overall, and Jorginho has some dark cards. The amount of times he did that at Chelsea against us, generally how pissed I got, in a way it helps us out for Arsenal in certain situations. But overall, we need someone who has this arrogance. Yes, give me the ball. I'm gonna do it what it takes. I'm gonna put the ball back into the net. And we don't have that at the moment. We need someone who is, well, I wouldn't say a dirty player, but a player who is how to say, clinical in front of goal, obviously, but who has that arrogance about him and that bad it factor, if that makes sense, that he will do whatever it takes to score goals, who can call out certain things that doesn't happen in the team. But as we all know, Arteta doesn't like that. He doesn't like players calling him out, but because with all the egos who got players who can call Arteta out, he has gotten all rid of them. Ozil, Aubameyang, obviously there was Lacazette in a way, there was Matteo Guendouzi, all of them are gone. Only players that fully agree every single time and don't say, maybe we should do that, maybe, no, I'm gonna do it this way, and this way is more better for us, and I don't want to play your way. Arteta doesn't want that. He doesn't want a player who has a head on his shoulders and who can stand for himself. And here we are. We don't have a striker. We don't have a player who actually can put the ball into the net. And Tony, in my opinion, is perfect for that. Because as I said, we don't need a world-class 200 million striker. We need a striker who is proper at the top, who can hold up the ball, who can distribute the ball, and who can properly finish. And I think Tony fits that to a T, to be honest. So it's not rocket science. It's just a simple thing you need to do, but they don't want to do this. We know the margins we need to do, because at the level we are at the moment, there's very tiny margins to improve, and we are trying to have clarity on which margins those are and how we are going to improve them. Really? Because based on transfers you have done so far, it looks like we have a very bad defense and we don't have a good goalkeeper. Because we have signed 2 goalkeepers, youngsters, and we have signed a defender. No midfielders and no forwards. So we had the best defense in the league last season, yet we signed more defenders. When actually we struggle at the front end of the game. And in the midfield a bit. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. My motivation and belief is looking at those boys and how much they want it. Looking around the club and the excitement that it is around and the fact that they really want it. Cool. Yada, 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 yada. On whether a win against Manchester United would be significant going into the season. It's a pre-season game. That's the big thing. Winning always helps, obviously. It brings belief, it brings good vibes and all that, yeah, yada, yada. Wee! Good vibes, woo! And everything. We are playing one of the best teams in the world. Really? Well, to be honest, if you talk brand-wise and name-wise, yes, Man United is one of the biggest teams in the world. Performance-wise, not so much. Not so much. Mind you, Manchester United in 2 years under Ten Hag has won Carabao Cup and FA Cup. So 2 cups. Mikel Arteta in 5 years has won 1 cup. Mind you, he has won it with a team that wasn't his. It was inherited from Wenger and Emery. Which means since the time he has gotten his own squad, spent nearly 700 million, he has done nothing. Genuinely has done nothing. We are back where we were with getting top 4, basically. So he has done nothing. And the bench is as abysmal as it was pretty much when we had an Arsene Wenger. The drop-off was massive, players need to be sold, contracts need to be ripped up, and we are where we are still after 8 years. So that is good job, good job. Anyways, we're playing on the best teams in the nicest stadiums in the world. Nice PR for Kroenke. Built by our owners. Hey, it's a big day for us tomorrow. Woohoo! Anyways, on whether it's harder to transmit. Oh, this word is back. Transmit is back. We can transmit the energy, transmit everything, transmit the likes and comments in the chat, guys. Transmit the subscription, guys. Transmit everything. I think the message is very clear. We need more from everybody. Well, it's hard to get more from everybody when they play pretty much like to 60 games a season, and by the like 32nd and more games in the league, they look like they genuinely have no legs. Because Saka looks like that every single season since he plays about nearly 70 games a season without almost ever getting substituted. Odegaard has no backup. Also one of those things, but it is what it is, I guess. That means personally I have to raise my standards. Yes, you need to. You need to sign proper players, for fuck's sake. And I need to bring something that I haven't brought yet. And individually and collectively, we have to do the same. And for our people, it is the same. The more they help us, the better the chance of will be to win the Premier League. Woo! That's what we want, so we need to work every day with that excitement and understanding the difficulty of it. Sorry. Oh, when difficult time come, we need to be together and go through them efficiently. Football friends! Woo! Football friends! Anyways, on the importance of evolving the squad. The full focus is on trying to improve these guys and get the best out of them consistently so they can perform every 3 days at the level that we want. Genuinely, sign players you can rotate, I get. Evolve the players. This is the big thing. Football these days is very robotic. People get boxed in certain roles. They are not allowed to kind of get out of the box. They are handcuffed in a way. They are not allowed to express themselves emotionally and technically. And that's why you don't see players like olden days, like Ronaldinho's, Neymar's. You can even, obviously, R9. No, I won't say Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. But overall, you don't see wingers generally massively expressing themselves with skills, with excitement, with pace and everything. They don't take on the opponent with such dangerousness and such inspiration as they used to, genuinely. Because the only one that does it these days, like properly, with retaining the ball, schooling defenders, and actually being dangerous with the fact that he doesn't lose the possession in the final third and doesn't have the final pass, is a 17-year-old Barcelona wonder kid in Lamine Yamal. He is the only one, arguably these days, who comes close to standard of the days, let's just say, when we had Alexis Sanchez. I'm not saying Yamal is as good as Alexis Sanchez at the moment, but for me personally, when I look at Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez is the last player in our team who had that it factor, who was given the freedom, who was given the ability, the option, and the permission, in a way, to express himself on the pitch, to take the ball from the certain players and just say, give me the ball, I will do this. And he single-handedly has dragged us over the line in multiple games to win them, to get the points and get the job done. These days in Arsenal's team, today especially, we don't have such a player. We don't have a player who has the ability to take on 4 or 5 opponents and still retain the ball and create a chance where he can score from. We don't have that. Saka gets triple teamed instantly, he passes back to Ben White or Odegaard. Martinelli, well, it is Martinelli speedboat without the driver 70% of the time. Puts his head down and just runs, and whatever happens with that. Many players do it these days. Just throw the ball past the opponent and just runs with pace, trying to outpace them. It is what it is, I guess, these days. Football has come very robotic. And for our people, it's the same. We already talked about that. When difficult time comes, okay, on the importance of evolving the squad, here it is. We know that we have certain parts in the squad that we would like to improve. But that is dictated by the market. No, it isn't. Genuinely, in my opinion, it isn't. How can... I know we have parts we need to improve at Arsenal. We need a forward, we need a number 9, we need, I would say, 2 midfielders, no matter what. It's not dictated by the market. Because it always is like this. You put the money on the table and you get the player, or you don't. If you put enough money on the table, no matter what, you will get the player. Because let's be real, countless times in transfer window there are situations. Player doesn't want to move. Player doesn't want to go. He wants to stay and everything. People offer 40, 50 million. He wants to stay at the club. Another team comes in, instead of 50 million offers 60, 65, maybe offers the same amount of wage or something like that, but the club gets about a bit 15 million more. 2 days later, job done, he's at the club. It's not about dictating by the market, but it's about putting the money on the table. Because, let's be real, you can get Tony at the moment for about 40 to 50 million. There is no dictating by the market. Put the money on the table, bigger chance than not that he will come, unless Arteta pissed him off in that interview. What? And the thing is also, we don't do that. We just don't go as one of the biggest clubs in the world and just say, here's money, give us the player. We try to haggle, we pull out of the deals if there's a bidding war potentially starting. We don't go for players we actually need. And it's not dictated by the market. It's how we ourselves move in the market. We move in the market like a championship team. Genuinely. It's like we don't have a pool. Arteta and Edu doesn't have a pool. Unai Emery has bigger pool than Mikel Arteta and Edu. Let's be real. Because Emery can sign Diabys and everything. Arsenal wanted to sign Diaby. And in the end, didn't get him. Aston Villa got him for less money than Arsenal were willing to pay for him. Yeah, it looks like Diaby just wanted to join us here because Arteta couldn't convince him at the end of the day. And that is the thing. If you put the proper money on the table, the player will come. It's just the fact that are you willing to put the money on the table and not settle for less? Because Arsenal in every single market comes out of the market 2 or 3 players short and always doing the bare minimum. Signing 1 or 2 players that we technically need, but at the end of the day, it's not enough. And then all the fans see these signings and think, oh, those were a good thing. I give 8 out of 10 window. 9 out of 10 window. How can it be 9 or 8 out of 10 window if you sign 2 out of 5 players we actually need? We don't cover bench depth, we don't cover certain positions, and at the end of the day, where is your out of 8 out of 10 window at the end of the season when you finish 4th or 3rd or even 2nd? It doesn't matter, and you have won nothing. No cups, no leagues, no nothing. Where's your 8 out of 10 window then? Because if it's an 8 or 9 out of 10 window, it means you have done an excellent job pretty much, and you should be winning something, but you win nothing. So where is that? It's not dictated by the market. It's dictated by the person who's trying to sign. Whether he's willing to pay, or will he have the balls to put the team... Generally, as we talk about, players need to... certain players have the ability to take game by the scruff of its neck and say, give me the ball, I will do it, and we will win. We had that. We don't have that anymore. In the market, it's the same thing. We are Arsenal. We should be able to go to teams like RB Leipzig, Real Sociedad, no disrespect, but Arsenal are much bigger teams than they are, and go to the Real Sociedad and say, we are giving you this money for this player and he will come to us. No questions asked. But we don't. We inquire, there is interest, we offer 10 million less than the actual value they want, and at the end of the day, they get pissed off, player doesn't come, or they ask double the money, and he doesn't move, or for the 20, let's just say for maybe 5 million more or less than Arsenal offered initially, he goes to a different club. And you see it consistently in the market with players Arsenal have been linked with. It's our own incompetence. It's our own incompetence of signing the players that is holding us back to improving the squad. It's not dictated by the market. We ourselves do it to ourselves because we have this tendency to shoot ourselves in the foot. We do it during the games, we do it under Wenger, we did it under Emery, and we are doing now under Mikel Arteta. Some things I guess never change. Anyways, at the moment we have a great squad. You can argue that, but we do. The starting 11 definitely is good, maybe 2 or 3 subs are definitely decent. Rest of them, bin them. And we are giving the opportunity for young players for the academy. Hey, yo, 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 yo. We are giving the opportunity for young players from the academy. You cannot pull this card right now when this is the first time when you properly have taken few young players and actually play them in the preseason games properly. Mind you, when you have let 22 young players go a month ago. You cannot pull this card because this is the first season when Arteta is actually putting young players as starters in the bigger games in preseason properly. And this might be the first season when he actually integrates some of the young players into the first team during the season, like Mangieri, maybe Luis Skelly. Maybe Hein, but he's going out on loan most likely to get consistent playtime. Because before that, 2 years ago, you subbed on Mangieri in 3-0 win against Brentford. Last season against West Ham. Once, and that's about it. He hasn't integrated any young players into the team. None whatsoever. And now he's trying to pull this card when we are giving opportunity for young players from the academy. You are giving only now, after 5 years. Just now. Yes, you can say better later than never, but at the end of the day, where was this 2-3 seasons ago? When was it? You don't think Cozier Dewberry would have stayed if you actually tried to put him into the team, sign him, maybe loan him out? You don't think he's staying? Of course he's staying. He 3 days ago scored 2 goals for Brighton in the preseason friendly. I have no shadow of a doubt he will ball out. Why didn't you, let's just say, put him out on loan to championship teams to get experience to put him in the team for this season as a backup for Saka, for example? Or, if you don't want him, go him out on loan, show that he can prove himself, and sell him for 10 to 15 million. We let him go for free. In my opinion, he will ball out at Brighton, and one Brighton will need to sell. He's English, he will do great most likely at Brighton by the looks of things, and Brighton will sell him for about 35 to 40 million. It will be another Serge Gnabry situation. Anyways, to be with you is to joy to have them around, blah blah blah. On being able to play in front of American fans. Oh, Hatsui, man. It's an opportunity for us to connect with our supporters. If they're Arsenal supporters, then great. If they're football supporters, let's get them to become Arsenal supporters. With the trophy drought we are in 4.5 years, I wouldn't be so gassed to say that, my friend. That wouldn't mean that we produce certain joy and excitement in them the way they play the game. That's one of the objectives. The main one is to win the game, that's for sure. Okay, winning against United, cool. Whee! On relationship with LA Rams coach, nobody cares, moving on. On whether preseason allows him to go into extra details. One of the things in adapting the new stimuli, we have different climate, different pitches, with different sizes and grass and different kinds of opponent. What the hell is this waffle about? Preseason allows him to get into extra details. What the hell is this? Different grass. But grass is green. Go play. Unless it's a turf or something. Players are going to be playing at different times. It's acclimatization. Nothing special, man. Players are going to be playing different times. Sometimes they're going to come in the second half. First half, 30 minutes. Some of them will play 9. So basically you're describing every single preseason any team ever has gotten. What is this question? Why is this a question, by the way? So all these things are really useful for us. Yeah, cool. During the season, it will be very useful if Lisandro Martinez, just like last year, nearly broke one of our players' legs. If that happens again, it will be very useful. During the season, we'll face so many different contexts. What the hell? And we need to be able to adapt to them and win every context. Anyways, moving on. On the commonalities he sees, like, nobody cares. It's LA Rams, man. On what it will take to get ahead of Manchester City this season. Here we go. 114 points. If we do that, we will win the league for sure. I know he's trying to be funny and all that crap, but let's be real. This is such a BS answer. Such a BS answer. 114 points means Arsenal win 38 out of 38 games. Okay, it's an incredible achievement. It will never be repeated. Let's get that straight. If that would have happened in the hypothetical scenario in Narnia where all the people live, basically. But come on, man. Arsenal need to get about 29 to 30 wins and about 5 draws. That would come together to about 95, 94 points. That is the thing we need to do, bare minimum pretty much to win the league, I guess. This is just embarrassing. Genuinely, 114 points. This is the objective, and from there, let's see what we can get. But today has to be the target, win every single game, and then the right to win it and have the biggest probability onto the opponent to win the game. When we have difficulties, we still need to be better than the opponent, so that's the objective for the team. Yeah, basically you need to win, that's the case. Ay, Dios mío. On interacting with local kids, okay, community, that is great, I'm not gonna lie, it's great. I love the culture here, it's so open, so transparent, a lot of energy in the way everyone communicates with you. You talk to the kids and some of the questions they ask are very different to what kids in you, well, different to upbringings and everything, so it makes sense. So it's great experience to nurture in that culture and great things from. Did anyone ask when are we gonna sign a striker? Let's be real. Did anyone ask a proper question, or anyone just ask what it will go to beat City and everything? Did anyone ask, will we sign a striker? Will we win the league and everything? Are you guaranteeing something us? Because it's been 5 years. We need to have some guarantees. I need to have some guarantees that we're gonna win 2 cups. We're gonna win Premier League or Champions League or something. We need guarantees. 700 million, 5 years. It's more than enough. And I've had enough, by the way. I'm already Arteta out. If he doesn't win and he gets re-signed, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But this will be the end of everything, genuinely. Genuinely. It's pathetic. I'm not gonna lie. This interview is more of a waffle than anything. Full-on waffle settings. Anyone got syrup for the waffles or what? Anyways, let's get into some transfers. Let's talk about some transfers. Calafiori. Riccardo Calafiori transfer plans have been rescheduled. Basically, again, with the new plan due to Arsenal, Bologna. I'm not sure why, but yesterday this came out about 12 hours after everything was already agreed upon, that they only re-signed documents genuinely around midnight. Well, it was 8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. UK time. It was confirmed about 10 a.m. UK time, and it got rescheduled and everything. So basically, what's gonna happen? Calafiori will travel to Roma, to London early morning on Saturday, medical in London, then travel to USA. But again, despite this report, it got rescheduled with the fact that Calafiori is just now flying to the 5 hours ago. He's not gonna join us in the USA. Basically, that's what's happening here. He's not gonna join us in the USA. By the looks of things, he's gonna stay in UK. Calafiori is gonna stay in UK and wait till we come back. Because let's be real, if he does medicals even today, he will fly to the USA tomorrow. He flies there, he's in the USA. By Monday, we play Liverpool. Very quickly. Let's check this. We play Liverpool on Thursday. So basically, he comes there on Monday or Tuesday. He gets one training. He's never gonna play against Liverpool, and he's gonna fly back to the UK. So it makes 0 sense. Although, if he stays in the UK, he can stay, train, and do everything there, and train maybe together with the players that with our England players and our Spanish players, and then just join for the game in the Emirates Cup, basically. But yeah, and according to reports, if Arsenal complete the signing, this question, how would you rate this window out of 10? If we sign only Calafiori and Fabian Ruiz, this window is 2 out of 10. Because we haven't addressed anything that needs to be addressed. We need a number 9, we need another forward, backup wings, and we need another midfielder. We signed 2 out of the 5 players we actually need. And what about going out and everything? If we sign only those 2, it's 2 out of 10 window for me. Because we haven't addressed pretty much anything that needs to be addressed in Arsenal's team whatsoever. It would be an embarrassing window, I'm not gonna lie. According to La Provence, whatever this place is and whether these reports are, Marseille are having difficulty in signing Edu Nketiah as Arsenal won 50 million euros for the 25-year-old. Negotiations continue, but so far there has been no breakthrough. So basically, Arsenal have put a valuation of 50 million on Edu Nketiah, and everyone's surprised why we cannot sell him. Are there any more questions that need to be asked? 50 million. I would say 30 to 35 is fair. Mind you, we get 35 for Emil Smith-Rowe most likely. Get 30 to 35 for Edu Nketiah and get the hell out of there. Because 50 million price tag legitimately reads that Arsenal don't want to sell Edu Nketiah and they want to sit with him for another season. This evaluation is embarrassment. And if this is true, Arsenal are genuinely pissing the hell out of me already with this evaluation and incompetency to sell the players. Mind you, here it is. Arsenal want minimum 40 million pounds. That's why it is 50 million euros for Edu Nketiah this summer. Marseille have shown the most interest for Nketiah so far, yes, but you are never going to get 40 million for Edu Nketiah. Name me a club who would be willing to pay 40 million for Nketiah. Because I can see this maybe being a 30 million deal, maybe up to 5 million in add-ons, similarly like Emil Smith-Rowe deal is most likely gonna be like. Or 25 with 5 million add-ons for 30 million. 40 million pounds for Edu Nketiah. If we sell him, by the way, for that, that would be a robbery and a half. Kid you not. Because there is no chance in hell Eddie is worth that much. Wait. Just curious because of this. Edu Nketiah, what's his valuation on Transfermarkt? 25 million pounds. 25 million pounds. So you want to tell me that Arsenal are wanting to get 15 million more on top of that? Tell me a club who is willing to pay that. Tell me a club who would be stupid enough to pay 40 million for Edu Nketiah. Because if I was a sporting director, if I was a president of a football club, and if I wanted to sign Edu Nketiah for some weird reason, by the way, I wouldn't pay more than 25. Mind you, I would pay about 20 with 5 in add-ons, or if let's just say coach really wanted him and I had extra money to spend, I would risk it with 25 to 5 million in add-ons. That would be my ceiling at worst. I wouldn't pay 40 million. Make it make sense. How can you get 40 million for a player who has played and this will be amazing stat by the way once it loads, who has played for Arsenal last season in 27 games in Premier League, has 5 goals and 2 assists. Last season in Premier League in 30 games, 4 goals and 1 assist. He has never scored more than 5 goals in Premier League. He has the best point outcome is 5 points. In which universe you can get 40 million for that? He was not in the squad. Holy crap. Anyways, in which universe does that make sense? Last season, let's see how he did. All games, all types, all that crap. Overall, 5 goals, 2 assists in 27 games. Played 1,072 minutes. Mostly as a sub, by the way. Bell to bell, he played maybe 2-3 games. But he scored a hat-trick against Sheffield United. Means nothing. Means genuinely nothing. Scored against Fulham in the game we drew, by the way, which we should have won. Scored against Forest, and that's it. He assisted against Brighton, assisted against Palace. And most of the games towards the end part of the season, he sat on the bench. Because let's be real, he is not good enough. He's never been good enough, and he never will be good enough for Arsenal. Scoring against, who against he scored hat-trick as well? Wimbledon, was it? Wimbledon or something like that in the FA Cup 2 years ago. Yeah, there he scored hat-trick. He scored a hat-trick on Sheffield. His level, championship teams basically. Genuinely. And no championship team is gonna pay 40 million for him, let's be real. Maybe 20, 25? No chance in hell. Genuinely no chance in hell. How Arsenal are envisioning getting 40 million for Edu Nketiah, I have no words. Genuinely have no words for this. Calafiori, don't care anymore. We talked about that. Anyways, let's go check what is new in the transfer world. Let's go check what is new in transfer world in general. Maybe there is some news updates, some discussions we can have more here. Arsenal plot Nico Williams transfer hijack. amid PSG talks and Barcelona reality. I'm not getting into that. He's moving to Barcelona and that's it. Arsenal set to command a large fee for Marseille. That's according to French football, and it makes sense, to be honest. French football released that. I think it was yesterday. Yeah. According to Le Provence, this will be a bit of deep dive. We talked about it. Set to command substantial fee like Marseille targeted Nketiah to leave Emre some window. De Zerbi hopes to bring the former England Under-21 international to the State Velodrome as he looks to revamp his playing squad before the starting of league and season. Nketiah appears to be keen on the potential prospects of playing for Marseille, and De Zerbi, blah blah blah, are close to agreeing personal terms, but Arsenal are demanding the 40 million. And that is the thing. Marseille may struggle to complete a deal with the Premier League outfit, unwilling to let Nketiah leave easily and potentially pricing them out of the move. That's the thing. There is maybe 2-3 clubs that actually want Edu Nketiah. Maybe 2-3 clubs. And every single club is not a club that can afford even to pay 30 million properly for Edu Nketiah. There's Fulham, there's Palace, and there is now Marseille. 3 clubs who at best will pay about 30 million. At best, by the way. So why we are asking 40 or 50? Are we really trying to price out the teams out of the deal? Then Nketiah is staying because he's like Arteta's lost son or something, and then we're gonna say, oh, but we tried and nobody wanted him. No, teams wanted him by the looks of things. You just put a price tag on him, which basically you try to scam them, basically. It's like buying a piece of, I don't know, fake jewelry and doubling the price tag because trying to sell it as a real jewelry. It's basically the same thing. 25 million player trying to put a 40 million price tag on him. That's a robbery. You're not selling him because he can score 20 goals. He has scored 20 goals combined in 4 seasons at Arsenal. Or 5 seasons at Arsenal. If not even 20, I think it was 19. That's just pathetic, man. Genuinely pathetic in Premier League. What are they doing? Like, what are they doing? It's just shambolic, and to say the least. Anyhow, what is? They're very happy. Arsenal are buzzing over deal they did to sell unbelievable talent. What? Anyways, Arsenal Manchester United in the early hours. Yes, we play against United during. There's nothing to talk about in that. Arsenal and Chelsea target Jobs' double-edged future hint. As 70 million rated star makes dream admission. All these PR talks and the clicks for these are mad. Arsenal's next big star emerges amid midfield maestro praise. And I think there's talk about Mikel Merino here, right? We haven't talked about him today, by the way. So if it's Mikel Merino, we're definitely gonna look into him. Or Fabian Ruiz, depends. It's What? Arsenal's next big star emerges amid midfield maestro praise. Salah Olad Muhammad. No. Not good enough. Not good enough. Exactly. That's the thing. That is the thing. The club is not acting correctly. They're overpricing a player. I know why they're doing this, by the way, because Eddie has been put on 100 grand a week. So basically what they're trying to do in this instance is to cover the wage losses, the wage and the price. So it's 25 plus 15. Because Eddie very comfortably is sitting on a 5 mil a week, 5.2 mil a week in this instance. Plus he has a 3-year contract that adds up to 15 million. So 25 million player plus 15 million adds up to those 40 million. So it actually makes in that instance sense. But to think that any club in the world would be willing to pay 50 or 40 million for Edu Arteta is a farce and a half. Genuinely, it's a massive, massive farce. Tottenham look to hijack deal for 43-goal Arsenal target. I swear, if they sign Gyökeres, I will throw hands. Tottenham Hotspur are reportedly set to make a move for Arsenal target Victor Gyökeres as they look to add a new number 9. With the new Premier League season only a few weeks away. Yeah, by the way, 3 weeks away, we are kicking things off. You really think we can get 50 million for Edu Arteta? Seriously. 50 million for Edu Arteta. Name a club who will pay that, first of all. Second of all, name an instance where that makes any sense whatsoever. 50 million for Edu Nketiah. Prem player English. You're not selling him to English teams. Plus, what has he done to justify a 50 million price tag? What has he done to justify a 50 million price tag? If at the moment Ivan Toney is being sold for 50 million, who is much more established, much more clinical, and much more better striker than Edu Nketiah. In which universe does that make sense? In which universe? Prem and English. It makes no sense, genuinely, in this instance. Wait. It's not a thief. West Ham are playing 37 million for Jam from Aston Villa. What? Yeah, but wait. City selling academy players with 20 mil with no Premier League experience, exactly. But they have potential, plus they're coming out of Manchester City Academy, which has proven to have ballers in there. But back to this. From Aston Villa, what has he done? That is different, in a way, because West Ham actually know how to sell players. Plus, he has a full-time contract. Generally, he has full-time contract. Because, by the way, we're gonna get back to this. Tottenham want to sign Gyökeres allegedly. They are on lookout for him. Just watch, Arsenal will miss out on another one. Okay, let's go back to this one. Edu Nketiah, 116 games in Premier League, 19 goals, 5 assists. In Premier League, 5, 10, 14, 16... 19 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons at Arsenal. 19 goals in 7 seasons in Premier League. Playing 116 games. In which universe any of these stats for you, for example, scream 50 million? Which stats in this one scream 50 million? It's all fun and games when you score for England under 21s, under 20s and all that stuff, but when it comes to big boys, you stink out the gaff. Where this screams 20 million, 50 million, sorry, or 40 million. I just don't see it. For me, it doesn't make sense. He cannot finish. He's wasteful in front of goal. His footballing IQ many times lacks massively. And if you look at this, it makes 0 sense for Arsenal to ask 40 to 50 million for him. There is no justification. Unless you're trying to cover this 3-year contract, which comes together for 15 million, and you 25 plus 15 equals 40, you're trying to cover his wages. Genuinely. It makes no sense. Genuinely makes no sense. Wait, let's check Duran from Aston Villa, by the way, while we're here. John Duran, Aston Villa. 20 years old, so he's already 5 years younger than Edu Nketiah. That's first. He has contract, he signed in this summer only, and he is, 4 years on his contract. In Premier League, he hasn't done much, by the way, mind you, if I'm not mistaken. Whoa, wrong. Yeah, he was injured. He doesn't play a lot, by the way. He had injuries, but he doesn't play full 90s overall. 2 against Liverpool, 1 against City, mind you. He plays strikers. Yeah, he mostly plays as a sub. He doesn't even play. Only reason why I can see him going for those 37 million is the fact that West Ham need a proper striker. He is Colombia international. He's only 20, so there's lots of room to grow and he has lots of potential. Because in this age, you buy the potential, which is about 10 to 15 million as well. So that is the big part here. Plus you are selling him to one of your rivals. So makes sense. Plus Aston Villa know how to sell a player. That is the big thing for me. Aston Villa actually knows how to sell a player properly. That is the biggest reason why I'm looking at this and how I'm looking at this. Aston Villa signed Onana and everything. They know how to sell. Genuinely. Genuinely, look at this. Top departs from Aston Villa. They sold a nobody pretty much for 10 million, Diaby for 60, Douglas Luiz for 51. That's the thing. Yeah, some team can use him for 5 years, but I just don't see the 40 to 50 million price tag on him. Plus the 100k a week, it makes no sense. That's the thing. I don't see a team who is willing to pay that much for him. I genuinely don't see, plus the wages. That is the big issue for me. Top 6 player. Huh? Where is he a top 6 player? Where is he a top 6 player? Genuinely, where is Nketiah a top 6 player? Because if you look at compilations, he looks like Prime R9. But if you look in the game, he just didn't look like anything against Brighton as well. Bournemouth as well. In the final third, he looked like he had deer in the headlights look as well. Same price as Balogun, about 30 to 35 million. I can get on board with that. About 30 with 5 million in add-ons, which is the same price we are about to get most likely for Emil Smith-Rowe. But for Arsenal to ask 40 million, no. $30 million for a sub. Who is 35 million sub? Fabio Vieira, okay. Oh no, Emil Smith-Rowe, never mind. That makes sense, but we can't demand more for Eddie. You can make... But the Emil Smith-Rowe is better than Eddie Nketiah. There's much more use for him in Premier League, and he's actually proven that he's a better player than Eddie Nketiah. Two different positions, I know. But at the time when Arteta 3 years ago, Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka single-handedly carried the team with Emil Smith-Rowe having that 10-goal season and everything. He has proven that he can do it. Consistently. Eddie Nketiah has none of that. He doesn't have the cachet to prove to do it. Genuinely. He doesn't have it. Doesn't have the dossier, if that makes sense. We could send him on a loan, but then the big thing about sending Eddie on loan is the wages, how they would cover it. Arsenal pays 60% and some team pays 40%. But even then, who would take him on loan? Who would pay even half of his wages or something like that? Because 100 grand a week is a very big chunk to kind of try and split up. That is the big thing. The wages we have put him on are one of the biggest reasons why we are struggling so much to sell him and why arguably the price is that high for Eddie Nketiah at the moment. That is the big thing for me. The thing is, it's Villa. Generally, I cannot say it's Villa, but for me, Duran has more potential than Eddie. Eddie has 5 more years in Premier League. Yes, he has had more experience. None of them have proven themselves. But you know Arsenal. We're talking about Arsenal here, a team that is not knowing how to sell players. And now they're trying to sell a player, for me, for too much money again. They're trying to sell him for too much money. If you ask 30 to 35, I'm cool with that. I can be cool with that. But if you ask 40 and above, not to mention 50, it makes no sense. He's not that good of a player to pay 50 million for him. That is the thing. Because we paid 50 million for Ben White. And at center back he was awful. Yes, we moved him to right back. He is actually very, very good at the moment for us. But you don't see 40 million for Eddie Nketiah. No chance he's becoming that good. Especially, if you think about it, he moves to League One. Okay, a different league, he might hit the ground running. But he will be purchased there to replace Aubameyang. How that's gonna work? How is this gonna work? How is he gonna place Aubameyang's goals who scored about... How much did Aubameyang score? How much did Aubameyang score last season for Marseille? He legitimately single-handedly carried the team last season. He scored 17 goals and got 8 assists. You think Eddie Nketiah will provide at least that for Marseille last season? Genuinely. Sup, Terrence? How's it going? That's the only thing. Only difference is experience, because they both have done nothing pretty much. Yes, Nketiah scored hat-trick against Sheffield United. He scored that winning goal against Manchester United and all that stuff. But overall, he's done nothing for us. Because it makes overall no difference whatsoever. His wages are 100 grand a week, and that is the biggest reason why the price is so high, because they're trying to compensate it, and that's why we are very struggling to loan him out and sell him in general. The 100 grand is the big issue. Yeah, his wages are too high, exactly. I might be biased against Teddy, because I'm sick of him. Because he has cost us so many points during games, even during title run 2 seasons ago, that he has proven he is not good enough. Full on not good enough. I generally would rather take a gamble in a swap deal for Duran. Generally, full on swap deal if the valuation is the same. Duran for Edu Nketiah. Put Edu Nketiah at Villa and give us Duran. I would generally take that gamble. Full on, no questions asked. Genuinely. Because Eddie has proven already that he can't do anything, pretty much. That's the big thing. And yeah, he kept us in the title race, but at the same time, he screwed us out of the title race against certain teams. That's the big thing. It's 50-50. He helped us, but he screwed us at the same time. Not gonna lie, no idea who those forwards are. Genuinely no idea who those forwards are. No idea. Anyways, we digress. I need to move on. Genuinely need to move on. Back to this. Tottenham look to hijack Gyökeres. I'm actually being way too long. Okay, 6 more minutes and I'm moving. With the new Premier League season only a few weeks away, English clubs are trying their best to get new additions. The European Championship, Copa America, blah blah blah, but with both. The Gunners, who have been rumoured to be on the hunt for the new centre forward since last summer, have continuously been linked with Sporting Lisbon striker Gyökeres, but now face potential competition from North London rivals Spurs. According to Football Insider, Ange Postecoglou's side has entered the race, quotation marks, for the 26-year-old who impressed last campaign, bagging the 43 goals and 15 assists. The report also claims that Liverpool and Chelsea are both interested in the striker who would cost. Since Harry Kane departed for Bayern Munich last summer, Tottenham have yet to replace him with an out-and-out number 9, as Huminson or Richarlison operated in that position most of the season. Whew, this is a big one. I'm taking this with some massive grain of salt, because 86 million, the thing is Spurs, they have the money. Will Levi actually sign off to sign such a player? That is the big thing. But if Spurs get Gyökeres and Arsenal don't, oh, this will get ugly. It will genuinely get hella ugly, I'm not gonna lie. If he tears up for other clubs, we're gonna regret selling him. Mind you, go tear it up for other clubs. But you need to find a club who is willing to pay the 40 million. Or he will stay at Arsenal, run out his contract, and we're gonna be left in the same position we were seasons ago when we re-signed him. That's the big thing for me. Eddie wouldn't be third choice at most. That is a give or take very questionable thing to say, by the way. I generally think there are clubs he could be second choice. Genuinely second choice. Full on second choice. There are teams. Main choice, no chance in hell. Second choice, yes. Third choice, also yes. Even for mid-table teams, he would be at least the second choice. He's not that bad. But for Arsenal, he's not that good. Generally. Who would you prefer? Arsenal sign, Gyökeres or Alvarez? I take Gyökeres. I don't want any more City players. If City are letting a player go, it's genuinely never good for Arsenal. We have seen that. Well, if City are letting player go, how was it? how I said this about 2 months ago. If City are willing to let a player go, that means he's not good enough anymore for City more often than not. So at the end of the day, if we're trying to battle City, we cannot afford to sign a reject for Manchester City if we want to improve. It might close the gap, but if Pep is letting a player go, in my opinion, it means he is not good enough. So if he's not good for Pep, how can he be good for us? Because we play quite similar styles in a way. That is the big thing for me. Yeah. That thing, yeah. Alvarez wants somewhere south. And I don't know if he's gonna move to Atletico Madrid or not, remains to be seen. It was reported that allegedly Alvarez's family wants warmer weather and everything. It's like FIFA career mode in FIFA 15. Your player is in team. Let's just say you play with Arsenal. Kieran Gibbs comes in. I want to move to a warmer weather, and then he moves to generally a different team. Anyways, it doesn't look like there are much to talk about anymore today. I actually enjoyed this discussion about Nketiah. I love having different opinions on this because I'm gonna admit, I'm fully Eddie out. Full on Eddie out because I don't think he's good enough and I think the price tag for him is too high. Yes, you can try, in a way, yes, I am trying to kind of move the goalpost comparing him Duran to Edu Nketiah at the same time. There are lots of variables in there which weighs the scale in favor of Edu Nketiah. At the same time, it weighs in the scale of Duran as well. So it is a 50-50 one for me. Generally, for me, it's Eddie out, and 40 million for me is too much for Eddie. Because I don't see a team that would be willing to pay that amount. If Arsenal get that amount, genuinely, I will sit here in the next stream when he gets sold. I will have a clapping ovation for Edu for getting the deal done, full on. But if it's only a sale, if it's a loan with option to buy or obligation to buy, until he's out of the club fully, loan doesn't count. If he gets sold properly, until then, I'm still Eddie out. But for that instance, yeah, it is what it is for me, genuinely. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chilling here. It's been an hour. The time genuinely has flown by. Hope you had a great time. I genuinely love the time here. Hope you had a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your time. And see you all very, very soon. Obviously, tomorrow. But yeah, Nico Williams is moving to Barcelona for me. I don't see him coming to Premier League. But yeah, anyways. Thank you guys so much for chilling. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Enjoy your time. Take care. You've been fantastic. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for being here.